UFC bantamweight champ Merab Dvalishvili claims Umar Nurmagomedov is not on his level. Merab, eager to lock in his first title defense as bantamweight champion, took to social media to address the division. The champ specifically took shots at Umar, claiming he doesn't deserve a title shot after defeating only one ranked fighter, Corey Sandhagen, who according to Merab has no wrestling. Merab also suggested that Umar is using his last name to secure a title opportunity. The champ believes that even the former champ Petr Yan, who he has already destroyed, deserves the title shot over Umar after beating top contender Figgy this month.
So we have Merab. Wow, what a handsome guy, the current champion. He has 11 fight win streak and has beat 4, yes, I said 4 ranked and still active former UFC champions. Then we have former champion Petr Yan, who has beat top ranked opponents. Last and certainly least, we have Umar. And he has beat who? And who? No one but gifted Sandhagen.
Bruh.
Umar, get to work. You're not my level. Earn your title shot like rest of us, whose last names don't get gifts.
Michael Chandler remains confident he's the better fighter than Charles Oliveira, despite losing to him twice. After suffering a second-round TKO to Oliveira in their 2021 vacant lightweight title fight at UFC 262, Chandler had a chance at redemption earlier this month at UFC 309 in New York. However, Oliveira once again came out on top, this time with a dominant unanimous decision victory over the former 3-time Bellator champion. The fight was Chandler's first in 2 years after a lengthy layoff, waiting for a Conor McGregor bout that never materialized. His return to the octagon was far from ideal, as he revealed he sustained leg damage in the opening round, which he says impacted his performance. Still, Chandler confidently claims that he believes he would win most matchups against Oliveira, despite the outcomes of their 2 fights. On the Ariel Helwani show, Chandler didn't hold back when reflecting on his performance, giving himself a harsh 2 out of 10. He voiced his frustration with how things went downhill after the first round, falling far short of what he expected from himself. Despite back-to-back losses to Oliveira, Chandler remains confident, claiming he would win 9 out of 10 times in their matchup. Still, he admitted he understands why people might doubt that, given his 0-2 record against Oliveira, and made it clear he was deeply disappointed with how he performed. Despite losing 4 of his 6 UFC fights, Chandler remains hopeful about what lies ahead. He expressed confidence that the long-awaited fight with McGregor will happen in 2025. Even if it doesn't, Chandler continues to hold a strong reputation within the organization, with UFC CEO Dana White comparing him to the legendary Arturo Gatti after UFC 309. Robert Whittaker reacted to his crushing loss to Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 308. Rob admitted there was little he could do to prevent Khamzat's takedowns. Chimaev, now 14-0, dominated Whittaker with a first-round submission via face crank, leaving the former champion needing dental surgery. Reflecting on the fight, Whittaker detailed how it unfolded and shared his thoughts on Chimaev's impressive strength. On his MMA Arcade podcast, Rob revealed that he was prepared for Chimaev's explosive start, but didn't expect the face crank to cause so much damage.
Seconds of the fight starting, I felt real comfortable standing with him, like real comfortable. But then the dude drops to like a millimeter. How do you stop that takedown, guy? Like, we did a lot of wrestling, we did a lot of stuff, we did a lot of wall work, but mate, it's so hard to replicate that sort of takedown, that sort of commitment. And you know, props to him. Guy knows his strengths, played into him to a T. Ankle picks me off the fence. Like it was a great takedown. It was a beautiful takedown. He has a really heavy sag. He's not ridiculously strong or anything like that, but he had a really heavy sag. And he was really good at making me work, like making sure he was active. Like he was always kind of reaching for underhooks, reaching for ankle picks, trying to get a hook in. He was like making me work, staying active. And then, mate, he puts his forearm across my face for the face crank, right? Picture perfect, like landed square between my, there's that dimple part between your chin and your lip. It's like, it just hits right there. And within like instantly, my teeth gave out.
Russian MMA reporter Usha Taika recently held an interview with the former UFC featherweight Zabit Magomedsharipov's younger brother, Khasan Magomedshiripov, where Khasan revealed that he had an intense sparring session with the current lightweight champ Islam Makhachev. Quote, "I didn't expect Islam's striking to be this good. It was surprising to me. He feels the distance in stand-up so well. It was like playing chess with him, but then I had to find out that he was levels above me. He felt me so well. He knew what I was gonna do. You cannot afford to make mistakes with this guy. There are some fighters you can afford to make mistakes with, but with Islam, you just can't. You will get knocked out. I made a mistake and this guy found my chin. That day changed everything for me because now I know the danger he possesses." Colby Covington is set to make a somewhat unexpected return at UFC Tampa, headlining the promotion's final event of 2024 against Joaquin Buckley on December 14. The former interim welterweight champion has been linked to numerous matchups since his loss to Leon Edwards last December, but none had materialized until now. Colby steps in to replace Ian Machado Gary, who moved to the co-main event of UFC 310 to face Shavkat Rakhmonov. Buckley, riding a wave of momentum, is seen by some as a more favorable opponent for Covington compared to other names previously discussed. While Buckley's recent form has been impressive, his record does include losses, some of which involved being out-wrestled, an area where Covington, a three-time title challenger, excels and could potentially find success. On the Weighing In podcast, Josh Thomson and Big John McCarthy discussed Covington's decision to take this fight. They suggested that Colby might be underestimating Buckley given his vulnerabilities in wrestling exchanges, and examined why Covington may have chosen this specific matchup for his return. Big John also brought up Buckley's 2018 Bellator loss to Logan Storley, using this as a comparison to his next matchup.
I look at it and I think Colby actually bit on this fight thinking, all right, I've seen people out wrestle Buckley in the past and I can out wrestle him and I can take him down. Now that's a different Buckley though too. Buckley's a different fighter.
Sorry, he lost to Logan Storley.
But now you can look at that
Yeah.
and say, well, Logan just out wrestled him and just dropped him anytime he wanted, as far as and takedown stuff. Logan's a better wrestler than Colby Covington ever was.
Bo Nickal continued to build his undefeated record earlier this month at UFC 309, securing another dominant win by defeating Paul Craig on the main card at Madison Square Garden. This victory marked Nickal's fourth under the UFC banner, adding to previous finishes against Jamie Pickett, Val Woodburn, and Cody Brundage. While many anticipated Nickal would rely on his elite wrestling in the Craig fight, he instead showcased his striking, a choice that sparked mixed reactions from fans, with some questioning the strategy. Addressing the criticism on the Pound for Pound podcast, Bo defended his approach and expressed satisfaction with his performance. Quote, "I think that this last fight, even though people didn't love the performance, was a great step in the right direction. I dominated a veteran, a guy who has 26 fights, for 3 straight rounds just using striking. I didn't even use my biggest asset. I think people now are saying, oh, Bo, he can't wrestle, this or that. Bro, trust me, I can wrestle." Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for daily MMA news.